You are now streaming worldwide on RadioOnFire.com and the Radio on Fire app.
Saddam and K Show here on Radio on Fire. Welcome back. I am glad that you are here. So, last Sunday, black lady named Marcia Grant and her 9-year-old Dallas were in Baltimore, the Harbor East area to be specific, and they wanted to get something to eat. Okay, according to this story, the 9-year-old Dallas, picked the Ouzo Bay restaurant, Harbor East. He liked the fact that they had outdoor seating. Okay. Upon entering the establishment, which is owned by the Atlas Restaurant Group. So he wanted to go to this Ouzo Bay restaurant. The manager said that he could not go because he was wearing a t-shirt, right? And many people have heard this story. The video went viral. The boy had a t-shirt on and shorts and sneakers, and they did not let him in the restaurant, right? And on the way out of the restaurant, so if you've ever been kicked out of a restaurant before or not allowed service, it is not a good thing, right? It's not a good thing. So it doesn't feel good. So the mother and her son kicked out of this restaurant. And on the way out, she notices another child, white child, wearing similar clothing to what her son had on. So she demanded explanation for what looked like discrimination because, of course, she's not allowed in. And then she sees somebody else whose kid has on the same thing. So she takes out her camera, as most people do. When something's not going our way, take out the camera. She takes out the video camera and posts this to social media, causing this firestorm and all of this bad publicity for not only the Ouzo Bay, am I saying that right? Ouzo Bay, but the whole Atlas group as a whole. They have like 15 restaurants in the Baltimore area, and they have some out of state as well. So this in the middle of a protest movement, which is primarily about race, in the middle of that, in the middle of a pandemic that has restaurants not having clients, not having patrons like they normally could, and this being an establishment that does not really fashion itself as a place where you get takeout a lot. So people really, to get the experience, you kind of got to go to the restaurant, you eat there. It's not really a takeout type spot, right? In their infinite wisdom, they thought it made sense to have policies that exclude people from coming. They already have less than normal foot traffic, right? I mean, it just doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But anyway, Marcia Grant and her son Dallas have been on talk shows, Good Morning America, and all of that. The Atlas-owned property in Baltimore has really gotten flooded with bad reviews, negative reviews, that whole thing. A lot of people compare this exclusion to the white-onlys, water fountains, and those kind of policies. There were places in Baltimore and around the country where black people were not welcome, and this took some people back to that time period mentally. And let's keep in mind, last year there was a controversy over the dress code at restaurant in Baltimore called Chop Tank, which there have been slight things to keep black folks out. Right? So now that we've run some of that down, okay? There was a statement issued in the Four Seasons Hotel in Baltimore that they are trying to distance themselves from the restaurant group, saying that it was also dismayed at the Ouzo Bay incident with Atlas and all that. So they said, given our concerns, they have agreed to remove the dress code from two of the restaurants that are, one has a American cuisine, a bygone, sits on the 29th floor, and Maximon, which is a Mexican restaurant that opened on New Year's Eve, they're removing the dress code. Here's my thing, okay? I don't think that the Atlas Group understands. I said that they own 15 restaurants. Also, they have restaurants in Texas and Florida. I don't think that they understand that it's not about the dress code, per se. It's about the implementation of the policy. So it's not the policy, right? The lady was leaving out, no problem, right? Her issue was the fact that, are you saying by your actions that this dress code only applies to me and my child? That was her issue. And I don't think they understand that. The inability of so-called educated people to understand basic humanity and basic action versus reaction is very surprising to me. So we have this situation. They have 15 restaurants, and they clearly don't understand how to operate them. What they don't understand is that for some crazy reason, black people love to give their money to people who don't want it. Right? The people who don't want it. It's amazing to me. And the arrogance of the Atlas Group thinking that this could all be smoothed over if he could just meet the young kid and apologize to him and be a mentor. I saw somewhere in the maybe it's the Baltimore Sun that in an interview that at the Atlas offices, which are also in Harbor East, he was offering to be a mentor and an opportunity to apologize. Maybe want to give him some coupons or something. Completely out of touch. I don't know if the Atlas Group understands the seriousness and the reckoning that's happening right now. Okay, but they're trying to boycott it. According to Jill Carter, if she has it her way, senator, they want the Atlas Group out of Baltimore. They want to close all the restaurants down. All right, that's how serious this reckoning is. Now, I don't personally care whether or not the Atlas Group restaurants leave Baltimore. Doesn't matter to me, because I'm not going to their restaurants. Right? They can stay in business, not stay in business. My issue is, why do black people want to go places where their money is not wanted? Right? If they don't want you there, right? So when you boycott a place, it leaves the it leaves the thought that if you change some things, then we'll come back. We don't need to be going to those places. You know, what was the crab? What's the crab place? Vince Crab House. People shouldn't go there, right? Now they may say they're trying to shame the people that are there, and that process I understand, right? Shame the people that are there and make their experience uncomfortable, right? to get them to lose business. I just want people to focus on this: spend your money where your money is appreciated. And when you have these establishments, Atlas has 15 establishments in Baltimore, right? Different types, right? They clearly don't want us there, and they try to find every possible way to not have us there. People that know me understand that I don't travel far without a backpack, okay? You can't see it's offset. I have a backpack close by, which I keep my laptop in and other things in. And some of these Atlas restaurants, they say that my backpack, I wouldn't be able to go in there with my backpack because they claim this is the Atlas folks. They said that the restaurants had in the neighborhood that the restaurant is in, there's been shootings, and so they can't allow people with bags to come in because of shootings, some other foolishness. You know, it's that type of mindset that it's really tone deaf. And I'm surprised that the Atlas Group, with this type of thought process from the leadership and the brass at the top, I'm surprised that they've been able to be in business this long. What are you talking about? Okay, you're in a pandemic. They had to reach out to the government to get money to stay in business because of this pandemic, and you have found yourself once again in a situation where people that want to go to your restaurant, which I don't even know why they want to go there, but people that want to go to your restaurant and spend money can't spend money and go there at a time when your customers are not promised, to say the least. He tried to cite that they enforced the dress code regardless of race and social standing, even though there was a white kid in there with clothing just like the clothing that the young Dallas was not able to come in. They wanted to cite a time when Gordon Ramsay wanted to go to one of the restaurants. I believe it was at the Bygone. And he had on sneakers and they didn't let him in. So that shows that we're not racist with the implementation of our dress code policy. Whatever. Right? Whatever. Gordon Ramsay didn't say that this is what happened or whatever. Well, who cares? Right? My point is that stop spending money. Stop wanting to go. Just, oh, please, we want to go. Now, I do understand that Miss Garcia is going to... She's building a lawsuit. Okay, she has a publicist, she has an attorney. This is going to be a problem for the Atlas Group. And okay, good. Oh well. I mean, clearly they've been given numerous chances to do things right. Okay, I don't think that they understand that it was never an issue of the policy, right? People have rules. Okay, you got rules, whatever. Right, but if you see other people violating these so-called rules, that's going to piss you off. And I understand that. That's going to piss you off, and I clearly understand that. But the fact that these restaurant groups, this restaurant group with 15 establishments, they have people, managers that they've hired that are so entitled, so arrogant, that they think that you can turn a customer away. What kind of idiot is that? The hospitality industry, with everything that's going on, how's your industry going to survive with customer service like this? When this happens, restaurants are going to slowly go out of business. Employees won't get to make money. So that's where we are. The PPP is what's keeping the Atlas Group in business. That was the Paycheck Protection Program. Came from the government aid, right? This government aid is what's keeping this restaurant intact, and they found themselves in this situation. Unbelievable. They have restaurants in Texas, right? Bars have been ordered to close. Limited restaurants to half capacity. It's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem, and I, for one, want people to, black people specifically, Spanish people, whatever your race is, don't spend your money someplace where it's not wanted. We have to get back to the time when people are valued, right? You have to value your customers. We don't owe you to go to your establishment if you don't treat us right. It's too many options now. Too many options. I spoke about Senator Jill P. Carter, who told the Baltimore Sun that she had been kicked out of Atlas restaurants many times. This is a state senator. State senator. She was kicked out, and she said that she called for boycotts to the Atlas eateries and all of that. I, for one, the main point that I want to hammer is that do not feel obligated to spend your money at these places, right? Boycott is fine, but I want you to patronize places that will value your money, not beg and plead with racist establishments to let you in. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, at The Diamond K Show, at Radio on Fire. Did I say LinkedIn? Did I say TikTok? At The Diamond K Show. Daily, 12 p.m., 7 p.m., radioonfire.com, thediamondkshow.com. I'll see you guys tomorrow.